Hey guys, Mason here. Welcome back to the Sweet Spot, where I create delicious desserts that you guys can follow along with at home. As always, the full written recipe and list of ingredients are down below in the description box. Also, while you're down there, if you want to join the family, don't forget to click that subscribe button and you'll get 2 new videos every week. Alright, to kick off Pie Month, I thought I would do my spin on a classic pumpkin pie. Now these are mini, bite-sized pumpkin pies that everyone can enjoy. I know sometimes that the pumpkin pie doesn't get the love that it deserves. It's overwhelming or it's seen as old-fashioned, but this recipe is sure to change that. If you guys want the recipe, stick around and we'll get started. Alright, to get started, we're gonna make my version of an all butter pie crust. Now you can use this for any type of pie, savory or sweet. In a food processor, we're going to combine our all-purpose flour, salt, and sugar and mix that together really well. Then to that, we're gonna add our frozen butter. Now this step is really important. You want to keep your butter frozen until it's time to put it in your pie crust, because those little pockets of fat will melt in the oven and they give you that wonderful texture and flavor that you're looking for. After we get that added in, we're going to add in our ice water. Now you're going to need 6 to 8 tablespoons. This just depends on how dry or wet your mixture is. And you want it to come out with a texture like this. Now that we've gotten our pie dough made, we're gonna wanna cover that and put that in the fridge for at least 2 hours, because we want this butter to get really cold again before we roll it out and then cut them into our shapes to make our mini pies out of. We're gonna roll our pie dough out to at least 1/4 of an inch. We want these super thin. You don't want a bunch of crust and barely any filling. You want to pull them out as thin as possible. Make sure that you spray your muffin tin before you start putting your pie dough down into it so it doesn't stick when we bake them off. Now, after we get our pie dough pushed into all the little cracks and crevices, it's pulled up the sides, we're going to place them back in the fridge for another 30 minutes just to prevent shrinking in the oven when we bake them off. Now to make my pumpkin filling, it's a twist on a classic recipe. I don't use evaporated milk in mine. I use sweetened condensed milk. The full list of ingredients and measurements are down below in the description box. So are my social media links where you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram, get behind the scenes pictures, see what's going on in my life. Now in a large bowl, you're gonna wanna combine your pumpkin puree with your sweetened condensed milk. Now you wanna mix this for at least 2 to 3 minutes. That's why I'm using a hand mixer here. You can do this by hand, it's just gonna take a lot longer. We really wanna whip as much air into this pumpkin mixture as we possibly can. Now after we get that pumpkin mixture nice and whipped up, we're going to add all of our holiday spices. I use a couple different spices. I prefer cardamom to ginger in this recipe. We're also gonna add in cinnamon and nutmeg. Now after we add all of our dry ingredients, we're gonna give this a quick mix through, and then we're gonna add both of our eggs and our vanilla extract. Now again, you wanna mix this for at least 1 to 2 minutes. We don't want any lumps in this at all. We want it to be a nice, smooth, light and airy mixture. That's going to help the texture so much for these. Now we're going to put this mixture into the fridge covered for at least an hour. I leave mine overnight just because it lets those flavors develop and mingle together before we go on ahead and bake them off. All right, now we've pulled our mini pies out of the fridge. We're going to fill them with our filling. I just use a cookie scoop. All right, now that we've gotten these filled, we're going to put these in our preheated oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit and bake these off for at least 16 to 18 minutes, keeping an eye on them after the 13, 14 minute mark, just depending on how hot your oven runs. All right, we'll see you guys in a little bit. What do you guys think? Now, I've gotten mine right here. I've let them cool completely, and then I added some whipped cream that I whipped up and dashed a little nutmeg on the top. It's just so cute. It takes it over the top. Let's give these a try. These are so good. Say goodbye to that old, boring pumpkin pie that no one wants, and check these out. They're really light and fluffy because we don't use evaporated milk. We use that thicker sweetened condensed milk and whip it for so long with the pumpkin puree. It's just such an awesome texture. All right, if you guys like that recipe, I have such a treat for you. The whole month of November, we're going to be making pies. Mini pies, small hand pies, empanada style pies, full classic old school style pies. It is filled with pies. And then Christmas is coming up right around the corner, so I'm going to have so many desserts. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. And click the bell to get notified whenever I upload, because I know sometimes I don't get videos from my favorite YouTubers because I haven't clicked the bell, and for some reason YouTube doesn't notify all the time. So don't forget to hit that bell. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe from my home to yours. Enjoy.